and welcome back to our series of IKEA hacks. And this week we're going to be transforming a really boring planter into something a little bit special.
And it even hangs too. And you'll be finding out how we do it in just a few simple steps. So planters, I think everyone loves a bit of planting in their home.
Absolutely.
Whether it's real or faux, in fact.
Yes, absolutely. There's been a lot of faux plants around this year.
And actually, what I'm finding really on trend at the moment is a hanging planter, which is what we've got here today. Oh, it's all a bit terrible.
Yeah, don't worry, we can sort that out. But the great thing about these hanging baskets, you can have them indoors or outdoors.
And this is a little bit like a jigsaw, but I'm just going to put that down for the moment. What are you going to do with it?
So I'm going to section bits off, I'm going to do a bit of spray painting, and then I'm just going to add a few details with a bit of black paint as well. It's going to be very classy, I promise you that.
And I really hope it's in pastel colours as well.
Of course it is!
Keeping it on brand every time. All right, you better get to it.
Okay, let's do it. So the first thing you want to do is mask off the areas that you want to spray paint. Now I want to keep a strip at the top completely white, so I'm going to add some masking tape to protect it. Now because of the nature of the planter and the shape of it, sometimes when you're putting the masking tape around the edge, it might just go a little bit crinkled, but that's fine. Just press those bits down to prevent the spray paint from going underneath. So just continue all the way around your planter until you come back to the beginning, and then you want to line those two edges up. So I'm just going to rip that off there. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing, and hopefully get that completely in line. Now I also want this rim to be completely white as well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some newspaper and just fold that inside. So once you've put paper all around the edge, I'm actually just going to stuff some more paper inside just so I definitely don't get any spray paint in there too. So then my next line, I'm going to do about halfway down here, and because I want to paint this section gold. So again, with the masking tape, I'm going to mask all the way around again. So that's all the way around, and then the next bit I'm going to do is I'm going to mask off the bottom section in preparation for spray painting that bit too. So because I'm going to be spray painting this section, I now need to put newspaper from that section down. So there we go, that is a lot of newspaper, a lot of masking tape, and a lot of faff, but it'd be well worth it because next we're going to be doing spray painting. So you want to work in a well-ventilated area because we're going to be using spray paint. Now I recommend you actually spray outside, but if you're working indoors, open up the windows and cover your work surface. So we're going to be using a gold metallic spray paint by Plastic Coat. You want to give it a shake for a couple of minutes, which I have done already. And then you want to apply thin coats. You don't want to do a massive thick coat straight away, otherwise the paint will start blobbing. So I'm just going to do some very light sprays over the white section. So you want to continue working all the way around your planter until that's completely covered with gold. Now it says on the can it's touch dry in about 5 to 10 minutes. I'd say give it about half an hour just to be sure. So once the gold is touch dry, it's time to take off the newspaper. Now don't throw this away because you're going to be using this in a second. I'm just going to peel that off. Now because we're going to be painting this section here green, I can reuse this paper and just pop it all the way around. So So once you've got it completely covered with newspaper, it's time to go on to the second colour, which is this gorgeous chalk paint in a mint green, which is also from Plasticoat. So give it a good old shake for a couple of minutes, which I have done already. And remember to work in a well-ventilated area and cover your work surface. So I'm just going to do little short, sharp bursts of the green. How gorgeous is that? And it doesn't matter if you get it onto the base because you're not going to see that anyway. So just carry on working all the way around your planter until that bottom section is completely covered. And then this one actually says it's touch dry in 30 minutes. So I'd say give it an hour just to be safe. So once the green's completely dry, you can take off the newspaper and then it's time to section off the very last section, which is going to be rose pink. Now I want the rose pink to go all the way up to the edge of the gold, and then I want to keep a white section here. So using your masking tape again, you actually want to put the masking tape directly over the gold paint. So don't worry, it won't actually come off. So got to be quite careful here. So you just go right the way up to the gold and do that all the way around the edge. And then just line up the two bits of masking tape at the end and then push it down all the way around the edge. And then it's time to add the strip of masking tape around the bottom. That down. So then, as before, you want to cover this bottom section and the top section again with newspaper. So as you can see, I've sectioned off those bits just using some newspaper so they're completely covered. I've shaken up my can. This is my pale rose from Plasticoat. And again, just want to do very light coats of the pink. How pretty is that? So go all the way around. And again, because this is a chalk paint, it says to leave for 30 minutes until it's touch dry. So maybe leave it for an hour just to be on the safe side. So after you've removed all of the masking tape and the newspaper, you will reveal your gorgeous sectioned off colours. Now don't worry if they're a little bit wobbly, it just adds to the effect, so don't worry about that. Now to add an extra bit of interest, I'm going to add some black dots all the way around and some lines. And I'm going to use this 3D paint. Now it's quite easy to use. You simply just squeeze it out and yeah, a little dot appears. And so I think by adding these little dots, it almost looks a little bit like seeds in a watermelon perhaps. So I'm just going to add those all the way around the edge of the planter. So once you've gone all the way around doing your dots, it's now time to do some lines around the top edge. So, and again, don't worry if you've got a bit of a shaky hand, it all adds to it in the end. So, starting from the top and just working my way down to the gold, I'm just going to do some lines. Thick and thin, doesn't matter about the distance between them. Looks pretty funky, huh? So once you've done all of the black detail, you want to leave it for about 24 hours just to make sure it's definitely dry because it is 3D. Now this actual planter came with a silver chain for hanging up, but I thought silver was a bit boring, so I gave it a bit of a zhuzh and added some gold. So once that's completely dry, I think it's time to show Bex. What do you think?
I really like it. It looks like a watermelon, but not.
I know, I took the inspiration from some fruit.
Well, watermelons have been huge this summer anyway,
Yeah.
so it's nice to see something a little bit different. I love the pastel colours.
Thank you.
And the gold just really, really works as well.
Yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? And I'll show you the chain, which I spray painted gold.
Ooh, very nice, very glam. A hanging planter is so on trend at the moment. And actually,
Yeah.
if you are a fan of faux flowers, or faux plants, should we say, I can just pop this one in and it can just hang nicely over the side.
Love it.
Love that. So, should we get styling this up and just see what it looks like in the home?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So I really hope you've enjoyed seeing what I've done with this lovely plant pot.
I've really enjoyed it actually.
Thank you.
But if you guys have too, then make sure you guys leave us a lovely little like on this video. If you've got any questions at all, then please don't forget to comment. We always answer all of your questions if you have any. And of course, the most important thing, as always, is to subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. We love the little community that we are so far building, and we hope it gets bigger and bigger. And that is thanks to all of you guys for helping us out with that. So until next time, see you later.
Bye.